Ever wondered why tools are often associated with men and not women? It's a question that's been asked for ages, wrapped in the fabric of societal norms and stereotypes. Yes, it's true. We often picture a man when we think of someone wielding a hammer, fixing a leaky pipe, or constructing a piece of furniture. But why is that? Why are tools, these simple mechanisms for making our lives easier, so often cast in a masculine light? The truth is, this stereotype has no basis in reality. Women are just as capable of using tools, and many are already doing so, breaking the mold and challenging the status quo. From professional builders to DIY enthusiasts, women all over the world are proving that they can handle a toolkit just as well as any man. So let's put this antiquated notion to rest once and for all. Let's debunk the myth. Women can and do use tools effectively. Understanding tools is the first step to becoming proficient in using them. Today, we're going to introduce you to some common tools that you'll likely encounter in most DIY projects. First up, we have the humble hammer. This tool, with its sturdy head and long handle, is primarily used for driving nails into or pulling nails from various materials. Hammers come in different shapes and sizes, each designed for a specific task. For example, a claw hammer is perfect for general carpentry, while a ball-peen hammer is used in metalwork. Next, let's talk about screwdrivers. These are used to insert and remove screws. There are many types of screwdrivers, but two of the most common ones are the flathead and the Phillips head screwdrivers. The flathead, as the name suggests, has a flat tip and is used for screws with a simple single slot. On the other hand, the Phillips head screwdriver has a cross-shaped tip, designed for screws with a cross-shaped recess on the head. Moving on, we have wrenches. Wrenches are used to provide grip and mechanical advantage in applying torque to turn objects, usually rotary fasteners such as nuts and bolts. Wrenches also come in various types, with the most commonly used being the open-end wrench and the box-end wrench. Lastly, we'll discuss drills. Drills are used to make holes in materials or to fasten materials together. The power drill, a type of drill that runs on electricity, is a common fixture in many workshops. It has a variety of drill bits for different materials and purposes. Each of these tools has a unique purpose and functionality. By understanding what each tool is used for, you can make your DIY projects more efficient and enjoyable. Remember, the right tool can make all the difference in your work. It's not just about having tools, but knowing how to use them effectively. Knowing your tools is the first step to mastering them. So let's get hands-on and explore the world of DIY together. Let's begin with a crucial topic that often gets overlooked: the importance of safety when using tools. This is a mantra that we need to embed into our daily practices, repeating it until it becomes second nature. There is absolutely no room for negligence, recklessness when it comes to handling tools. It's time we about the role of protective gear in maintaining safety. Gloves, for instance, serve as a protective barrier against sharp edges and high temperatures. Then we have goggles, the saviors of your eyes, offering them protection from sparks, dust, and debris. And let's pay homage to the overlooked heroes: safety shoes, which shield your feet against heavy objects that could accidentally fall. Safe handling of tools is equally crucial. Always inspect your tools for any damages before using them. A compromised tool can quickly turn into a hazard. Proper storage of tools when not in use is also important. A messy workspace can become a breeding ground for accidents. So the next time you reach for a tool, bear these safety measures in mind. Remember, safety first always. Women have been using tools for centuries. It's time we recognize it. Let's take a trip back in time. We're in the early civilizations, where women were the primary gatherers and tool makers. They crafted tools from stone, bone, and wood, creating the very foundation of human advancement. This deep-rooted history shows that women have always been part of the tool-using narrative. Fast forward to the Industrial Revolution. Women were essential in factories, using tools to build, craft, and create. Their contribution to the development of our modern world cannot be overstated. They worked in textile mills, factories, and even in the fields of engineering and construction. In the 20th century, the onset of world wars saw women stepping up to fill roles left vacant by men. They wielded tools in shipyards, factories, and farms. Their hands built the machines of war and peace, and their efforts kept nations afloat. Rosie the Riveter, a cultural icon of World War II, was more than just a poster girl. She was a symbol of the millions of women who held the tools of industry in their hands. Now let's come back to the present day. Women are breaking barriers in industries where tools are essential. They're carpenters, mechanics, electricians, and engineers. They're in construction sites, garages, and design studios, using tools to transform ideas into reality. They're not just using tools, they're innovating, inventing, and revolutionizing the way we use them. However, despite this impressive history and the present-day achievements, stereotypes persist. The image of a woman with a tool in her hand is often met with surprise and sometimes even disbelief. This stereotype doesn't just undermine women's abilities, but it also stifles their potential. It's time for a change. It's time to recognize that women and tools have a long shared history. It's time to appreciate the skill, the artistry, and the craft that women bring to the table. It's time to break down the stereotypes and build a new narrative. Women have always been capable tool users. It's time we break the stereotype. Now let's see how these tools can be applied in a practical scenario. Imagine you're setting up a new bookshelf. It's a simple DIY project that's perfect for showcasing the use of some of the tools we've previously mentioned. First up is the tape measure. This indispensable tool helps you determine the right space allocation for your bookshelf. Next, you'll need a level. This handy tool ensures your bookshelf isn't leaning to one side or the other. By placing it on top of the shelf, you can adjust until the bubble is centered, indicating your shelf is perfectly horizontal. Then, we have the hammer. The classic, ever-reliable tool that's been a staple in toolboxes for centuries. It helps you secure the nails into the wood, fastening the pieces together. A few well-placed taps and your bookshelf starts to take shape. Sometimes your project might require some screws instead of nails. That's where the screwdriver comes in. With a firm grip and a steady hand, you can drive screws into the wood, providing a secure hold. And let's not forget the power drill. This tool is a game changer for any DIY enthusiast. It can make holes for screws, or even drive the screws in itself. It's a versatile tool that can speed up your DIY project dramatically. Finally, we have the wrench. This tool might not be needed for a bookshelf, but it's vital for projects that involve nuts and bolts. The wrench provides the grip and leverage needed to tighten or loosen these fasteners. Remember, each tool has a purpose and is designed to make your DIY project easier. Knowing how and when to use them is key. And don't forget, it's not about having the most expensive tools, it's about understanding their function and using them effectively. With the right tools and knowledge, any project is possible. So, where does this leave us? We've embarked on a journey today, a journey that has taken us through a world where women and tools coexist harmoniously. We've broken down barriers, shattered stereotypes, and demonstrated that the realm of DIY and tool use is not confined to one gender. We started our journey by understanding the basics of tools, their functions, and uses. From hammers and screwdrivers to power drills and saws, we've seen that these are not just pieces of metal, but instruments of creation. Instruments that anyone, irrespective of gender, can wield to bring their imagination to life. Safety, an aspect that cannot be enough, was our next stop. We learned that safety is paramount when working with tools. It's not about being overly cautious, but about respecting the tools and understanding their power. We also shattered the myth that women are too delicate for such tasks. On the contrary, we've seen that with the right safety measures, anyone can handle tools adeptly. Then we delved into the heart of the matter, breaking the stereotype of women and tools. We've seen, heard, and celebrated stories of women who are not just using tools but are creating wonders with them. They're homeowners fixing things around the house, they're artists crafting beautiful pieces, they're professionals building structures. They are women who've chosen to step out of the conventional roles society has set for them. And finally, we saw the practical application of tools. We witnessed how a simple idea can turn into a tangible, useful object with the right tools and a little bit of elbow grease. We've seen that the joy and satisfaction of creating something with your own hands is a feeling that knows no gender boundaries. So where does this leave us? It leaves us with a new perspective, a fresh outlook, and hopefully, a spark of inspiration. It's time to break the mold, to step out of our comfort zones, and to embrace the world of DIY. Remember, in the world of DIY, gender doesn't matter, skills do. So pick up that tool and create something amazing. And don't forget to subscribe for more interesting facts and insights. Stay tuned for our next journey together.